They have toddlers, baby, elderly, whoever that might be sitting in the car. And guess what? They could be shot and killed. I know that just recently, because of this incident and other incidents happened, and we realized they are talking about there are at least 76 shootings on the freeways. And I want to say this, almost like any kind of crime. Now, these are what we call the reported incidents. What about there are many unreported incidents? So that means any one of us could be a victim of crime. Your baby could be the one, and any one of us could also be victim of crime, and which is scary. So besides working on all this, we are hoping to ask the California Highway Patrol stepping up their work, their patrol, and helping us. And we need more patrol. Why? Because in the cities we have police, but criminals know so well about if they could just travel from one city to another city. There are actually a limitation of what they can do in the other city. So the California Highway Patrol can be the bridge of helping us, stopping or slow down on this crime. Now, we are going to be, the Oakland County Chamber of Commerce will try to work with the advertising agency. We will try to get the billboard on the freeway, possibly 880. So letting people know, are aware of what's going on, so people can see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. So we'll find out what would be the best number so people can call in and to report crimes. So people have seen many things, but we need your help, okay? So which is very important. I have actually more announcement to make, but before I do that, I would like at this time, oh, by the way, I just want to, Stephanie is one of our board members. Jessica holding the phone, doing Instagram live stream, is our executive director. Now, all of our board members, including myself, all of us, we're all volunteers. And the most importantly, the chamber for the past couple of years, and also before, and we earlier always talking about our members and businesses and how they're supporting small businesses. But lately, our main focus is in public safety. Okay? Why? Without public safety, no one is safe, no one want to go and shop. So it's important for us working together and keeping everybody safe. And also behind me, so happen I'm in blue, Mia in blue, and everybody's in blue. So everybody behind me, we call them the Blue Angels. They are the original and first group patrolling Chinatown and being formed. They continue to support the police work, supplementing what they could do and helping us to keep everybody safe. So with that, I want to say thank you to the Blue Angels and for those who are supporting us. Stephanie?
Thank you, Carl. Next, I would like to bring up our next speaker, Chief Operating Officer at Burma Love and Superstore Restaurant, and representing on behalf of the Crimes Against Asians Reward Fund, Nia Tran.
Thank you. I gotta be closer. First of all, I just want to thank you, Carl, once again for actually having me speak here today. It's actually quite an honor to be able to stand amongst, the Blue Angels as well as the Chief of Oakland Police later on as well. I mean, Carl has been very active in speaking up for the community and really rallying our members to speak up for what's going on. And I come here with a very heavy heart as I come to this conference today. In addition to the already infuriating, assaults that are happening to our community members, now we are experiencing two other tragic events that has occurred in the AAPI community. One, Wilma Chen with her accident, and of course, Carl just talked about Jasper and his death on the freeway. I have a 2-year-old son myself, and I love him dearly. And I drive down the 880 very frequently, as many of our people in the Bay Area here. And just to think about that could happen to any one of us at any moment. It could have been our family driving down that freeway happened to us. And even though, both incidences were accidents, but both were preventable. Like, at what point will people and the policymakers begin to realize that change needs to happen at systemic level in order for us to really see an impact? Right? At what point, like, how many more of these preventable deaths before somebody will speak up and somebody will do something about it? As I look behind me here with all the Blue Angels, right? Grandpas, grandmas, uncles, aunties being the front line to try to do something about it. And I wonder, where are the young people? We have the education. We have the power to vote. We can actually make a difference. And I really hope that these two incidences will be the final straw where we say enough is enough, and we're going to do something about it. What we need are clearer and more severe consequences for crimes of any level. What we need are more resources to hold these people accountable. And clearly what we have right now is not working, but instead is creating greater crimes. Until then, the Burma Love and Superstar restaurants, with partnership with the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce and the San Francisco Police Officers Association, we will continue to put resources to fund the Crimes Against Asian Rewards. And we're going to be putting forth $10,000 to anyone, and I mean anyone, who has information that will lead to the arrest of the people who committed these horrendous crimes. And all you have to do is you just simply have to cooperate with the current investigating authorities, and we will work with them to figure out the logistics and the funding everywhere else. And we hoped that through our little efforts, adding up, we can make a difference. And we hope that we can bring justice to Jasper and his family. Thank you.
Okay, I have some good news for everyone. And since our media and reporters helping us out, and I got messages from Dion Lim, thank you. So there are people, they feel strongly that they want to contribute also toward this reward funds. And let me tell you how much and their names. But definitely, when we are finalizing, all of this, we'll announce it one more time. So basically, we have two people from the Instagram going to Dion, just like couple $1,000. And then we also have David Trench, and then the RFRD Academy. They're pledging $1,500. And we also have Keith Tom. Oh my God, he's pledging for $5,000. And I also have Kalen's pledging $500. So it seems to me that the people are really wanting to find justice for little Jasper. I think, we need to do this. We have to all wake up about what happened here. We have been waiting too long. I know Nia did talk about why all these criminals taking over the streets. I think every time I say this, I may not make many politicians happy. But I have to say it frankly. The lawmakers and our, leadership, whether it's a city, county, state, and federal, we cannot find ways dividing the people anymore. Let's find the real solutions. Lip service is great, but let's do the real thing. Because you look at everywhere in our city, I'm not only talking about Chinatown or in the Asian community. You go to the entire city, West Oakland, Football District, East Oakland, basically almost anywhere you go on any street, on the freeway, an entire city, all communities are being impacted. So, which is not something that we want to see. Now, there's so many killings and so many things happening. all the elected officials, I want you to say this. You are also responsible for anything wonderful happening in our city. But it's also is your responsibility and taking the responsibility what happened to the public safety. So we must work together. And I know that there are many things we could do, and they said what? So let's start with the basics. With our Oakland Police Department, we want to make sure that they are patrolling all areas, so keeping everyone safe. Now I know that people have been challenging us as, with the police doesn't do any good. It is not true. I will tell you it's not true. Because we have many incidents in Chinatown for the past many months until someone got shot. And then at the beginning of August, we said, you know what, enough is enough. So we're asking the police chief and also the police step up the patrol and getting more officers working in Chinatown. Since that happened, knock on wood, no wood yet. But anyway, seriously, when the patrols are happening in Chinatown, we almost have almost zero incidents in Chinatown. So if people are saying that it doesn't help, it's not true. You just imagine, if people are saying that we don't need police, guess what happened? When there's no police, it will be much worse. I want you to know. However, do we want police reform? Definitely. We want police reform. We want to making sure that we will support all the good police officers serving all communities. And we definitely want to make sure that the police department or in our country, making sure that they do three basic practices: the hiring practices, the trainings, and the promotional practices. So it's important. While I'm talking about the police, and I'm so excited to see our police chief is here. Police Chief Armstrong, we're so thankful for you deploying the police in Oakland, Chinatown, and keeping us all safe. But we need more to be done for the entire city. So at this time, I would love to invite our police chief and come to say a few words.
Well, good morning. And first, I'd like to, say that it's a difficult time in the city of Oakland. And I first want to start off by sending my deepest extended condolences to the Wu family. The loss of Jasper Wu, 23-month-old young man. This is just really tragic for our city. 119 homicides, a senseless act of violence in our community. It continues to sicken me that we continue to see these type of incidents occur in our city. I want to be clear that the department is working closely with the California Highway Patrol on this investigation. They are the primary investigative agencies, but we are playing a key role in assisting. I want to remind all of our community members that we continue to say that this violence must stop, that we need to see the firearms removed from our streets, and that we are doing everything we can with every resource we have to address violence in the city of Oakland. It saddens me that we haven't been as successful as I would like. We have made a lot of key arrests and recovered a lot of firearms, but we continue to see more firearms into our community, but most importantly, more people willing to use those firearms in our community. But we stand as one community as we grieve the tragic loss of this child as well as the other 118 homicide victims in our city. We are hoping that we can move towards healing and doing it together. I think together is the only way we'll be able to respond to this level of violence, is that we need community members to stand up to those who continue to perpetrate this violence in our community. We have to be courageous in this moment to say that you cannot be allowed to behave in this way, that you have to be held accountable. And I think despite whatever circumstances people face, we have to say that some things are intolerable. Violent acts are one of those things. Taking people's lives, shooting randomly in communities. Even last night, we responded to a shooting where over 198 rounds was fired in East Oakland. So this is something that communities across our city are dealing with every single night. Everybody in this city should be standing up against violence. We can stand up against things that we don't like. We can stand up when we see misconduct done by police. We should also be able to stand up as well when we see people behaving in a manner that's not consistent with our values. Taking people's lives should impact all of us. So many families are dealing with tragedy. So many families are trying to heal right now, and that saddens me. Today, I wanted to come by and say thank you for the $10,000 reward. I hope that the continued support will bring forth information that will help lead to the arrest of those who committed this senseless act. But there's other rewards out there for other people to bring information to help us solve other crimes that have occurred as well. There's so many other crimes that we need information to help solve and bring people responsible to justice for them. So I say to you, thank you, Carl Chan, for having me. I appreciate our community, our ambassadors back here, our blue team that walks in our community. It's going to take a collective effort. It won't be just police alone. Thank you all for a minute of time.
Thank you, Chief. I just want you to know that recently I've been working with Bishop Bob Jackson and the folks in the black community, because we believe that by helping more police resources would help us to prevent much crimes happening. Because I kept saying this, it's not about after incidents happen, we will pouring a lot of resources solving crime. It would be good that we can prevent crime happening, so which is more important. So we are hoping that by starting now, and people, every one of you can contribute into this positive territory, okay? Because we hate seeing people getting hurt, we hate seeing people getting killed. So the time that we need to do is now, not later. We gotta call on our leadership and making sure that we understand and how to deal with it. Like our chief is saying, he will be also working with the California Highway Patrol. And we must do that continuously, so keep everybody safe. Now, I also want you to know that probably sometimes this month, because Thanksgiving, we are trying to plan on appreciating a special appreciation day or week for our police. Because there are many, many good people out there wearing uniform. We need to support them. I know that I've been hearing that the morale is so tough for all police departments. We want to say that we want to thank you for your hard work. We need to support them because they also need to support us. Now at this time, before any questions, Jasper's family has asked us to say something on their behalf. So that's a quote from the family. I would love to ask Stephanie and to come on up and read for the family.
Thank you, Carl. So I'd like to read a statement from Jasper Wu's family. We are completely heartbroken and devastated over the loss of Jasper. We thank everyone for their GoFundMe donation and the outpouring of love and support during this difficult time. We are pleading for the shooters or anyone with information to come forward so that a tragedy like this will never happen again to anyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know that if the press have any questions that you may want to ask, let us know. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, we set up the GoFundMe already, and it's want to thank everybody. And we are offering the reward $10,000 plus additional money coming in from the people contributing to this fund, which is quite nice of you. And definitely we want to make sure that all the police departments all working together, all right? And also I want to thank those police officers here today, but also they're working day after day, keeping everybody safe. So are there any questions that you want to ask? Yes, sir.
Yeah, for the chief, where does the investigation stand right now? Do you have any leads at all?
Well, we're allowing CHP to be the lead on providing any updates on the investigation. I think it's only appropriate that those questions go to CHP, but they are moving forward on every lead that's come in, both to the CHP as well as to the Oakland Police Department.
Do you know what the cars were? We heard it was a gang fight. Do you know anything about that?
No, we don't have any specific information that we can release at this point. Obviously, we are following up on some leads that we have, but there's still more work to be done, and CHP will give you any updates about investigation where it is at this point. If there's any cars that they're looking for, if there's any individuals that they're looking for, that'll come through CHP. Well, I think that every department would love to have. Every department would love to have 100% clearance rate. Right now, we're close to 40% clearance rate in the city of Oakland. The national average sits around 50%, so we're a little bit below. But clearance rates are clearly about communities bringing forth information. Police can't solve crimes alone, whether it's the sharing of information around video evidence, car descriptions, all of that information helps. So any little bit of information that community can provide to law enforcement helps us move forward on an investigation. So I really think it's a joint effort that police will do everything we can with every resource we have. But at the end of the day, it really is community that has to say that this type of violence is not tolerable. And if I've seen something, I'm willing to say something about it. Yeah, I would definitely welcome freeway cameras in Oakland. I think any addition of technology would be helpful. It helps us solve these investigations. We've had so much success when we've had minimal video. So any additional cameras on the freeways, exits to freeways, entries to freeways would be a welcome addition to Oakland. I think it will be helpful for solving these investigations, and it would have helped in this crime as well.
How do you make that happen?
Well, I think that we as a community have to come together and say that we support increasing technology in Oakland. There's a need for cameras in Oakland. We've seen them be successful throughout our city with multiple homicide events that have happened. We've solved cases based on video evidence. So we encourage business owners to secure cameras. But we also believe as a city we should have a camera system as well.
Who's responsible for that? Will that be the city council?
It will start with our privacy advisory committee who approves technology, but then ultimately it will come down to the city council. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So with that being said, CBP is not responding to my inquiries.
Yeah.
And I also specifically asked about the number of children who have been shot and something on highways.
Yeah.
I've heard from a number of concerned parents of small children who are in fear right now of random incidents such as what happened last night in Israel.
Yeah.
Can you say something to the parents who are reaching out to us here for
Yeah, I mean, you know, the most vulnerable part of our community is our children. And I think all of us are shocked and disgusted when we see crimes like this happen to young, innocent children. When they happen to anybody but our children, who we are expected to protect, when there are victims of these crimes, I think it touches everybody. And I think in this moment, I think young Jasper Wu's incident is affecting all of us. I think we all recognize how fragile these moments are, and we want to prevent these incidents from occurring. So I say to families out there to just know that the Oakland Police Department truly does understand the impact that this type of case can have on a community. And rest assured, we have offered every resource that we have available to the California Highway Patrol, but also leveraging our resources in Oakland. And you'll see in the next coming weeks that we will be shifting resources into areas that have been impacted by the most violence in Oakland, because nobody should have to live through what we saw last night, over 100 rounds in the community. It's hard to say, you know, what you would say to a child who has experienced that, except that we are going to do everything we can to find the people responsible for it. That's what we're going to do. Yes, sir.
Chief, sir, I have a question for you, Chief. My name is Brian Lay. I'm an independent attorney in the area. And my question to you, sir, is the following. Regarding the $10,000 plus reward offer in place right now, and the donations are coming in according to the campaign, I want to ask you this question, Chief, which is, in your opinion, do you think that this kind of reward offer will put pressure on the people who are involved in the shooting and their associates and their family members to come forward and possibly, for example, squeal on each other and do the right thing? I want to hear that. And also, I have a question for Mr. Carlson. I'm glad to see the Oakland police here. My question is, where's the presence of Mayor Shutt's office here today?
So I'll first say that rewards help. Rewards help influence people to bring forth information. We hope that this additional money will help somebody feel like they are encouraged to bring forth that information. It's much needed. I think the outcry from the community as well, asking for that information, will also be helpful. So I think it's a collective effort. I don't think money alone is the issue. We need people to feel remorseful for this family. We need people to feel empathy for what happened. And we need people to think about, what if this was a child of yours? What if this was a relative of yours? Would you want people to bring that same information forward so that the people responsible can be held accountable? I think they would. And so that's what we really want to appeal to. We want to appeal to people to say, this was a child that's just driving in a car. This could have been anybody's child, right? That in this moment, that we all as a community needs to say that this is not tolerable. This is unacceptable, and we should be willing to bring forth information to help get the people off the streets who are responsible for this. And with that, that'll be my last question, and then I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, time will take. Yeah.
You want me to do one more?
Okay, the chief has to go now, so there are one more question. If not, just let our chief go. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait.
The GoFundMe account, you have a $10,000 reward, and the GoFundMe, is that for the reward or for the family?
Oh no, that's a two separate issue. The GoFundMe is GoFundMe. All the money, 100% of the proceeds, except the charges from the GoFundMe, every dollar, every penny go directly to the family. The reward has nothing to do with the GoFundMe because it's set up by the Chinatown Chamber, SF, POA, and also Burma Love restaurants together. So it's a money being set up by us. It's not from the GoFundMe. Okay, so if no more questions, I really appreciate for all your attendance. But once again, now this is a wake up call. We all have to work together and keep all communities safe. No matter where you are, East Oakland, West Oakland, the entire city, we have to work together so that everyone, every family, driving on the street, driving on the freeways, no one should die because you're on the street. Okay? Thank you.
Was the mayor's office invited to this?
No.
Carl, can you tell us a little bit of an estimate of how much the reward would be? $10,000 for Burma Star restaurant, and then how much was the other donations roughly? The $15,000 now?
Well, it looks like, if I based on, but remember, I will make sure that the funding truly coming in because they're committing. Until the money is coming in, we will not make that final announcement. So 10,000 is the money that we have started. Yeah.
That's
So
the minimum. That'll be the
yeah, minimum, right.
Could be higher.
Yeah, right. Okay. Do I make a statement in Chinese? Okay, I'll make it real quick. That's in the interest of everybody, I wouldn't mind to do it. 我就想大家多謝大家咧，係對我哋嘅關懷關注，尤其是咧，我哋今次咧係同呢一個 Jasper 嘅家人咧係做個高分呢嘅籌款，同埋咧我1萬蚊嘅獎金，希望將呢啲嘅賊人咧係繩諸於法，同埋我希望咧係多啲嘅警察巡邏我哋嘅街道，同埋我哋嘅高速公路 ，keep 大家係安全。Thank you. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.